everyone. This video we're looking at the NBA slate for today. We have a 3-game slate, so let's get right into it. As always, please hit the like on the video and subscribe if you have not already. Already have some big news already on the slate. Westbrook is out again. Lillard is out for this one, which is pretty massive. And then LeBron and Davis are both probable. We have that's pretty much it, I believe, on the injury front. Rondo's not expected to play, so we'll see how the last game goes on the slate. You could see a blowout again. Portland is going to be super shorthanded without Lillard. They're going to need McCollum to step up. They're going to need they're going to need Carmelo Anthony to step up too. So we'll see. I like the middle game the most to target players from. Expecting a close game in OKC Houston. Expecting the guys to both teams to play their starters like 40 minutes and expecting a pretty high score. And then the first game, we'll see if Gordon is back for this one. He's been questionable like the entire series, always been ruled out. We'll see. He might even be limited even if he is in, so who knows. But point guard wise, you have Harden at 11-8. He was great in the last game with 74 fantasy points, had 4 steals. Played 43 minutes, so he played 5 more minutes than he ever did in the first 3 games. And as the series, gets closer to the end, and they're gonna need to win, especially after losing the last 2. Harden should see like 40 minutes again. Early on, he played 36 and 34. Some of those were when the game was out of hand, but Harden should play a bunch of minutes, so no problem if you want to pay all the way up there. If I was paying up for anybody above 10K, at point guard, I would go Harden over LeBron, just because I like Davis more than LeBron. And if this game does blow out, LeBron's not going to see like 35 minutes. He's probably going to see like 30 maybe, if they're up by like 20, 30 points. I like Chris Paul. I like Chris Paul probably over McCollum just because I think Paul has a better chance of playing like huge minutes and having the better game and the closer game. The Lakers will just be able to focus on McCollum without Lillard, and they're gonna need McCollum to like shoot the ball really well and get like a lot of peripherals, which he can do at times, but usually he's much more of a scorer than Lillard, who can do a little bit more of everything. I like SGA. He's been playing huge minutes. He played 44 minutes in regulation. They like him out there. He's been good for his defense this series, and he's been good at shooting and just doing a little bit of everything with the rebounds and assists. So no problem going with SGA. I think he looks like a pretty strong option in the 7K range. I still like Schroeder, 6,400, no problem there. Fultz and Augustine. I never really want to play both of them in the same lineup. I think usually one has a good game and one doesn't. Last time it was Fultz. I think it might be Fultz again. I think Fultz might even have like the higher ceiling. Augustine can have like 30, 35 fantasy points, but Fultz, every once in a while, he'll go off and like get you like 35, maybe 40 fantasy points, and very occasionally, a few times a year, he'll get you a triple double. I think Simons is the best play at point guard. He's only 4K. He's gonna probably start for Lillard and see like 30 minutes at least. Even if this game is out of hand, I think his minutes are safe, just because they're super thin on bodies, and they're gonna need at least somebody to handle the ball, and Simons can do that. So Simons 4K, I think he's one of the better value plays on the slate. Shooting guard, Harden looks great. I like SGA, Schroeder, Fournier. I think you can go back to him. He's been awful at shooting, but he's still getting the minutes. I don't think he'll be super popular. The price tag is still reasonable, and the minutes are going to be there again. So if Gordon is out again, you could look at Fournier. Then you have not that many appealing options. I mean, I'd rather go Simons than Trent. Um, and that's kind of it. I don't think there's anybody like below 4K that I'm that interested in. Maybe take a shot on like a DiVincenzo if you think this game is going to get out of hand, but there's plenty of options to pay up for, and I think right now I like SGA at 7,400. Small forward, it's LeBron at 10-8, but like I said, there's a little bit of concern with the minutes maybe in this game if it gets out of hand, which it definitely can with no Lillard. Middleton, I'm not paying 78 for Middleton. We know like Bud goes crazy with his minutes. Even in close games, like 32, 33 minutes might be the max for Middleton. Like, unless he's playing great, they're going to leave him out there, but he hasn't really done that well in the series, hasn't been shooting the ball great, and I think there's better options, like point per dollar wise. I like Gordon better, I like Gallinari more, I like House more, 55 for House. Maybe 5,000 for Terrence Ross. Couldn't be the worst play. He's been playing, like, the minutes can be a little bit more sporadic, but if they're gonna need some scoring, especially if they get down early. He can get you like get really hot from distance and rain some threes. Only shot 1 of 8 from distance. Still put up 30 fantasy points. Had a kind of an outlier game in rebounding. Had 8 rebounds, but overall, I think he's not the worst play. He's not gonna get that much ownership either. But right now, I think I like Daniel House a lot at 55. Power forward Anthony Davis, I like a lot at 10.5. There's got to be a little bit of concern, but still, I think he looks good. Nurkic 86, think that's okay. I mean, I think you could look at like Whiteside a bit more. It's cheaper, but Nurkic, no problem really with him. Anthony, it's gonna be risky. I'm not really on Carmelo today. Even if he plays really well, he hasn't been that efficient this series, and Lakers are a decent defense, pretty good defense. So without Lillard, it's just gonna be tougher for the other guys, I think, to get open shots. Uh, Ennis at 44, not that interested in him. This position isn't super deep, so maybe I'll just go with like a guy like Gordon at small forward and then play House at power forward. I've been playing Gordon and House a bunch and haven't really been disappointed at all. House and Gordon, especially Gordon's been shooting a bunch, shot 20 plus times in 2 out of 4 games. The other game shot 15 and 17 times. He's not going to get you a ton of peripherals, but he's run into some stocks this series, and he hasn't had like a crazy good shooting game. Last time out, he shot the ball well, but other games he shot under like 40%, under 40% in 2 games, and then under 42% in the first game. So his minutes are pretty safe. Can't even get up to like 35, 36. We'll see. Like the Rockets, if Covington's playing well, they gave Covington more minutes last time out. But I think Covington, if he does struggle or if he's in foul trouble, the minutes are just going to go to House and Green and the other players. So I think Gordon and House are pretty safe. The price tags are pretty nice. At center, Vucevic looks really good at 92. Jeff Green, I think you can go back to him. He played 32 minutes, which was still nice to see. Just had a bad shooting game. He wasn't going to shoot 60% from the floor every time out. No problem going right back to Jeff Green. I like Green more than Whiteside. I think you could look at Whiteside if you want, but like Green more. But I think Vucevic looks pretty nice at 9,200. He's going to get the minutes. This game is remotely close, like within 10, 15 points. He's going to see like 36 to 38 minutes at least. It's a must win for the Magic now. And Vucevic has been just doing everything. Brook Lopez leaves him open at the top of the key so many times that at some point I think Bud just got frustrated and put in and took Brook Lopez out because that was probably when Vucevic rained like 3 threes in a span of like 2 minutes. So Vucevic can rain threes down. He's going to shoot like 20 times, gets you rebounds. And last time out, it was nice to see his 7 assists. So I think Vucevic at 9,200 gives you that 60-point upside at a pretty nice price point. And then last but not least, I like Dennis Schroeder at 6,400. The minutes for him are, like I mentioned, they have the ability to get up to like 34, 35, but at least he's going to see 32 minutes off the bench. He's been shooting the ball great, has upside because he can score at a high clip. He can get you assists, couple rebounds, just a little bit of everything out there. Price tag is really reasonable, and like I mentioned, I'm expecting a close game. And Shooter kind of can do everything in the series. He's kind of shown that he can have success in this matchup, so I think he looks great as well. So, like I mentioned, I think the middle game is the Rockets Houston game is going to be the one that I have the most interest in, followed by Orlando, Milwaukee, and then finally Portland and Los Angeles. So that's it for the DK side. Let's go over to Fanduel. Okay, over on Fanduel, point guard, we have Chris Paul is your most expensive guy at 79, followed by Bledsoe. Paul sticks out just because there's not any other pay-up option. And then I don't really like Bledsoe that much. I think just because the minutes can be down on him, I'd rather go up to Paul or maybe go down for a value play. So I like Paul a lot. I think you could look at Fultz. And then I think you definitely look at min price Simons, who's only 3,500. He's going to allow you to pay up for some other positions. Has some upside. We know we've seen him score in the past. At shooting guard, position continues to be loaded even on a 3-game slate. Harden, SGA, McCollum all look like decent options. Shooter's only 6K. He looks fine. Ross at 5K. And then if you want to punt with somebody, you can, but there's plenty of strong options to pay up for, so I'll probably be paying up at this position. Right now, I like SGA. He's been playing a lot better, and I kind of like what I see out of him watching the games. Small forward, once again, Gordon and House continue to be massively underpriced on Fanduel. Also have Fournier if you want to take a shot with him at 53. But I like House too much at 48. Like, he's been playing huge minutes. There's no reason why he's below 5,000. He's done nothing but get you like 6x return, and most of these games and the minutes have been even up the last 3. So he looks like a very safe play with some decent upside. Power forward, there's like nobody to pay up for besides Anthony Davis, and it's tough to fade Davis because Davis can, like, if this game happens to stay close, we've seen crazy things happen. But if this game happens to stay close, then Davis legitimately can have like double the amount of fantasy points as like Covington or Kyle Kuzma or Green. So if that does happen, you're definitely gonna need Davis. And then at center, Vucevic, 86. Price tag is nice. The minutes are huge, and it's a must-win for them. So could see Vucevic play, maybe even get close to 40 minutes tonight. So yeah, I definitely want to lock in Vucevic. The center position isn't super strong. Then you could look at Nurkic if you want, but Vucevic has a little bit more safety, more upside. The minutes should be a little bit more secure. And I guess you could punt with like Whiteside if you want, but he just tends to get into foul trouble, and if this game blows out, he's not going to be on the court. So that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and good luck today.